One more book.
Gbagba, written by Robtel Nije Paley, illustrated by Chase Walker. The Atlantic Ocean made a loud noise outside their bedroom window, and Sundega and Sundema packed their green suitcases with matching handles. The twins moved slowly, as if this would delay their trip. After the last item of clothing was folded neatly into each suitcase, the twins stood together, holding hands. Sundema and Sundega lived in the port city of Buchanan, the capital of Grand Bassa County in the West African country of Liberia. I do not want to go to the capital city, Monrovia. I would rather stay here in Buchanan with Ma and Pa, Sundema said to her twin, Sundega. Come now, Sundema, Sundega said. It might be fun to visit Uncle Momo and Auntie Mari again. Besides, they always spoil us, and it is nice to watch TV whenever we want and to take baths with hot water every day. Sundema's mind went to her busy life in Buchanan. She would miss kicking the football around with Sundega in the field near their house. She would miss eating dumboy and hot pepper soup with her bare hands as she sat on the front porch of Mr. Barchu's store every Saturday afternoon. Sundema would miss walking to school with her best friend, John Jay. She would even miss math study class with Miss Finley, even though fractions were always hard for her to understand. Most of all, she would miss her Ma and Pa. You must behave yourself at Uncle Momo's and Auntie Mari's, the twins' Ma said. They have agreed to take you in for 2 weeks, and we do not want you to give them any trouble. The twins nodded. Their Ma knew that her children were just as well behaved as the children in Monrovia, if not more. When they arrived in Monrovia, Sundega and Sundema moved their suitcases from the trunk of the taxi. They looked at the many tables with colorful palm nuts, the women who held folded clothes on their heads, and the men who pulled wheelbarrows with large jugs of water. Sundema and Sundega, screamed a familiar voice. Auntie Marie, they yelled back as they dropped their bags and ran to the woman who looked just like their mother. Auntie Maria was nicely dressed in an African print dress with her small round glasses sitting on the tip of her nose. Auntie Maria asked the driver, Opa, to grab the twin suitcases. They ran to the black Jeep with a red license plate marked RL507 in slim black letters and numbers. They looked at the license plate and remembered that Auntie Maria was a big woman in the government. The people in Monrovia called her minister. The twins entered the back door, and Auntie Maria entered the front. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise coming from the side of the car. People began to scream, "Rogue, rogue, rogue!" Sundema and Sundega looked out of the window as Opa ran behind a man in dirty clothes who had their matching green suitcases in his arms. Opa was faster. First, he screamed at the man, and then he let him go. He grabbed their suitcases and walked to the car. Sundema and Sundega were relieved. Opa entered the traffic that led to Central Monrovia. The radio had a special announcement from the president. Her voice stopped the hip-hop music that came from the speakers. The president usually had a soft voice, but that day her voice sounded as hard as a stone. Corruption is the enemy, she said. It is not just in the government that we find this problem. It is everywhere, and we must fight it. Sundega and Sundema liked the sound of the round C word, but they did not know what it meant, corruption. They reminded each other that they would have to look it up in Uncle Momo's thick red dictionary, with words so small they had to pinch their eyes to see. When Opa drove to Vamuma House in Tubman Boulevard, Sundema and Sundega stared in surprise. The long traffic lines of red, blue, brown, and white cars went as far as the eye could see. Like a chorus, the drivers began to honk together loudly. Don't worry, Auntie Maria said. We will find a way out of this traffic. When the traffic finally moved forward, Opa drove right to the police officer at the junction. I'm very thirsty, the police officer said, standing between the cars. I want some cold water today in this heat. Opa rolled down the window slowly and held out his hand. Sandema and Sandega both noticed the clean $100 Liberian bill, which the police officer put in his pocket quickly. He waved Opa's car through the traffic in a lane that was not there before. Sandema and Sandega were confused by what Opa did and disappointed in the policeman's unfairness to the other drivers. In Buchanan, Ma and Pa always reminded them that they should not jump in front of others in line. They looked out of the window as they passed the traffic. "Please stop here, Opa. We are going to pick up some snacks for the twins," Auntie Marie said. Opa drove into the parking lot of a large supermart shaped like a palava hut, with windows all around. The twins ran to the sweet section, where they picked up their favorite chocolate bars. When they joined Auntie Marie in the line, she had a shopping basket with sandwiches, crackers, cheese, biscuits, and juice. The twins quietly placed their chocolate bars into the basket of groceries. "So I see you found some snacks of your own," Auntie Marie said. She winked at Sandema and Sandega. Outside the supermart, Auntie Marie went to the three women who were selling bananas, pawpaws, and big, juicy red, yellow, and green mangoes. As their aunt talked to the fruit sellers, the twins opened their chocolate bars. They looked at each other and spat out the first bite. The bars did not taste like the chocolate they bought in Buchanan. The chocolate they tasted was hard and stale. "Auntie Marie, this chocolate does not taste very good at all," Sandega said. Auntie Marie took the chocolate bars and looked at the expiration dates. "I will be right back," she said to Sandema and Sandega. Auntie Marie went to the store owner behind the counter. After a minute of talking, she handed him the chocolate bars, and he shook her hand. She smiled at him and left the store. "What did he say when you told him about the bad-tasting chocolate?" Sandema asked. "Don't worry about it, sweetie," Auntie Marie said. "Muhammad is a friend of mine, and I have checked his store before for the government. He does not usually have problems with his goods, so I let it go for now." "But what if he does it again to another person who comes to the store?" Sandema and Sandega asked. Auntie Maria walked away as if she did not hear the twins. They followed her back to the car, shoulders down, and wondered why Auntie Maria allowed the store owner to get away with selling bad chocolate. They arrived at their aunt's large house on the old road in the suburbs of Monrovia and greeted Uncle Momo, who gave them a bear hug at the door. After the hug, the twins ran into his office and opened the large dictionary to the word corruption. They read it out loud together. Lying, cheating, stealing. They remembered the rogue in the market, the $100 Liberian given to the police officer, and the expired chocolate at the grocery store. Sandega and Sandema looked at each other and both said the Bassa word, Gbagba, which their parents used to describe lying, cheating, and stealing. Gbagba meant trickery, the same as corruption. Sandega's and Sandema's thoughts went to the faces of their parents. They thought about how Ma and Pa were angry at Mr. Bwezanga for taking money from their class, even though his work was paid by the school. Mr. Bwezanga had to pay all the families of the students back for the money he took. The principal also moved him from the school. They thought about how Ma and Pa told the market owners about a woman who sold them rotten pineapples. The market woman said that they had to pay for the fruit before they could feel its sharp, spiky skin for holes. After she was reported, the woman had to leave the market. They thought about how Ma and Pa left their first church, the Pentecostal Tabernacle, because the pastor was caught taking money from the offering to build his family a mansion on the beach. They thought about Gbagba and the round C word. They realized how much they did not like the word at all. The end.
Just one more book!